Welcome back to Dallas, Texas. We are here at DreamHack 2019, the first ever Madden tournament. It's the 25th anniversary, and on this great day, I'm surrounded by greatness. Mrhitstick, the voice of competitive Madden, the man, the myth, the legend, RG, the grizzled vet. He is Madden, and we are Madden. And we're having a great day so far. We just saw Clef the God take out Echo Fox Joke, and the action just keeps getting better and better as we have Mrhitstick versus Chritobin. Fellas, what are we looking for in this game, and as you see the brackets shape up?
I mean, this game is going to be, it's a battle of will Chritobin be able to deal with the defense that Mrhitstick brought yesterday. Let's remember, to get into the round of 16, Mrhitstick won a game 6-0. He's been a defensive guy so far in the tournament. Chritobin's going to have to deal with that.
Yeah, and that 6-0 win was against a guy who's no slouch. That was against T. Moore. You know, I believe is the last year's Dallas Cowboys club champion. He's a part of the game day program, very respected player, and for Mrhitstick to hold him to a shutout, and T. Moore said, you know what, he played good, he was tough, and we know Mrhitstick's tough. I mean, he's someone that Chritobin's gonna have to watch out for, but to Chritobin's defense, he has been one of the hottest players on the circuit since he took it by storm at the Madden Challenge. So this looks like it's going to be a phenomenal matchup. You got the young, hungry guy that's, you know, feels like he needs to get what he's put into this, and then you got the guy who's just been as hot as they get on the streets. It's going to be a good match.
All right, for those of you who do not know Mrhitstick, let's go ahead and introduce you to him. The pride of Louisville, Kentucky, the #1 slugger in the entire Madden community. Put your hands together for Mrhitstick!
And there he is right there. Like I said, Madden 18's Indianapolis Colts club champion. He made it to the Final Four of that same club this year, fell a little bit short. But this is a guy that's clearly got the talent on the sticks to make noise, and he's made noise already in this tournament, but can he continue to do so here and find himself in that Final Four and guarantee that 2500?
And we know who he's taking on. Tampa, Florida's own, like myself, a huge New York Knicks fan. Ladies and gentlemen, our Madden Challenge champion, Chritobin!
Chritobin coming up. One of the most surprising years. That Madden Challenge belt, he followed it up with a great performance at the Madden Bowl. He's a top 5 player this year. I have said all along, he is the guy who, I know there's the class and the jokes on, he's the guy I wouldn't want to run into in a top 8 here at Madden DreamHack.
And again, the thing that I find surprising is he hasn't played his best Madden football in this tournament,
Scary.
But he still found ways to win those games against tough competition. And usually when a player's able to do that, they're in prime position to make a run. But at some point, he's going to have to turn it around and get into rare form. Could this be the game that he does it?
I had a chance to sit down with Chritobin last night and talk to him and really get inside his head. He said right now, he is so locked in, he doesn't feel that anybody can beat him. And you know, he's a man of few words, but he said he feels very confident going into this game, and if he executes like he says he is, might not even be close.
I said it yesterday, and I 100% believe it. Good players win games when they're playing well. Great players win games when they're playing poorly. We did not see the best from Chritobin throughout these last 2 days, and that should be scary if you're Mrhitstick, because once Chritobin is locked in and playing well, he's as good as anybody.
Yeah, you got to remember, Ice, I mean, all he had to do was get down with his ball carrier, and could have been it for Chritobin, so he's playing with house money at this point, I think.
Would we agree that Chritobin is the toughest player that Mrhitstick's faced so far?
Yeah.
I think
I haven't seen his full bracket, but I got to assume
he's facing a belt winner, and he hasn't faced any other belt winners.
This is his biggest moment here against his toughest competitor. What's going through his mind right now?
I think if you're Mrhitstick, I don't know what's going through his mind. If I'm him, all I'm doing is thinking about, what do I want to do in this game? How do I continue to play within myself and continue to play my game? If you get too much into the bright lights, too much into the opponent, that's when you get out of your game, and that's when it can turn into landslides.
I'll tell you, Rico, when I was in his position coming up on the Madden Challenge circuit, and I would find myself going up against a heavy name, what I would tell myself is, I'm not losing this game. This is the situation I've been fighting to be in. This is the opportunity that I have wanted, and there's no way that I'm gonna let it slip through my grasp. And that's what I would always tell myself whenever I was going into the big game. And that's what's rough about having one of those big names like Chritobin has developed this season, is you are often gonna get everybody's best shot because they are that much more motivated to play against you.
With Mr. Mrhitstick being a defensive specialist, if Chritobin is able to get out early, is it going to be tough for him to rally his offense?
I think you saw it in our first game with Clef and Joke. Joke's a defensive specialist. Clef opened up a little bit of lead. It got tough. The question is less about what happens if Chritobin's able to get out early. The question is, what happens if Mr. Mrhitstick's able to get out early? Because that's where it can get dangerous. If Mrhitstick's able to open up maybe a 2-score lead, he might be able to lock it down going into the second half.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both of these guys are ready to play. Again, we all know what Chritobin, our Madden Challenge winner, he's here trying to put the little icing on his MCS cake so far. Mr. Mrhitstick, if he can get by Chritobin, he knows he has Clef looming. That's a lot to have on your plate right now. Now, we know you guys have been great in the chat so far. We want to know, who are you going with in this one? Let us know. Mr. Mrhitstick, or are you going with Chritobin? You see, make sure you follow so your vote can count. ! Mrhitstick or ! Chritobin. Nick, you guys are both 1-0 right now. I've been making a joke of picks so far. Give us yours.
I think this game is going to be a tough task for Chritobin. I like Chritobin to come out as the winner in this game. But if you want a quintessential trap game in Madden, Chritobin looking forward to Clef, you can't look away from Mrhitstick in front of you. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate it.
That was well said. It wasn't.
The cliche over is coming in.
It feels that way, doesn't it? But again, I'm with Nick. Chritobin he's just been able to come through when it matters so often this season. He's going to be a lot to deal with. I think he's gotten those jitters out of his system. I expect this to be the game where he finally turns it around and we see Chritobin in rare form.
I'm going to have to agree with you guys here. After talking to Chritobin, when he looked me in my face, it wasn't a big game speech. It was, I am ready for this big game speech. Chritobin, all three of us agreeing. Now, we got to see what the chat said. Chat, let us know what you're thinking.
You got to think it's Chritobin, right? You got to think Chritobin.
Yeah, definitely. I think
Ooh, it's close. There's a lot of respect for Mr. Mrhitstick out there, especially with that defense.
I cannot believe that the Clef joke game was
moving.
The
line's moving.
Hey, this is absolutely amazing in the Madden community, which shows you, is it the offense? Is it the defense? People have seen enough from Mr. Mrhitstick to know that he can play with anybody who sits across from him.
I got 2 takeaways from all of this real quick. One, I need the MCS to incorporate this voting into future broadcasts, because this is awesome. This is awesome engagement with the viewers. Great job by DreamHack for setting that up. 2, Rico, at some point you're going to have to put out the guide of what consists of a big game speech and what's just
I need a definition.
It's very colluded right now. I've been around for a long time, and I don't even think I understand it.
And we
don't got to do it now, but at some point.
We used this analogy a little earlier. You know the big game speech when you hear it. It's one of those things where you don't have to convince yourself to do the right thing. You don't have to. You know in your heart of hearts whether this person is telling you, are they trying to convince themselves that they can win, or are they trying to tell you that they plan on winning? And that's the difference. A lot of times they're trying to talk themselves into saying, I think I can do it as long as I give you that bravado and I give you that. Whereas Chritobin, you could tell, I'm locked in, I'm here, I'm ready to do work. This is where I'm at. Nobody's beating me. Mr. Mrhitstick, doesn't matter. Anybody you put in front of him, he's ready to go.
Would you consider yourself a master of identifying the big game speech arts?
Yes, but I'm also, I have a soft heart.
You're a sucker for the big game.
And there are a couple of people that can get me when they give me that speech. But what I'll tell you, the best big game speech, not big game, but the best I'm ready for this big game speech, needed Gaming Zone Dubby. Before he took on Problem in that Super Bowl. This was at the height of the Rico curse. I was Mr. Mush.
Mr. Mush.
He came to me, he said, look, I'm not scared of anything. This is my moment. This is my town. Doesn't matter. Rico's curse, whatever it is, pick me. I got you on national television. And the rest was history.
And forever now, Dubby has a special place in Rico's heart.
Yeah, Dubby
heard this story.
He could be playing Madden himself. I'm still riding with him. Shout out to Nina Gaming Zone. Now, Mr. Mrhitstick looks very comfortable in his chair. And Chritobin
goes, I look even more comfortable in my chair.
Shoulder.
I still think that's a little bit of gamesmanship.
It's a nice chair, by the way.
I don't think Chritobin's got the gamesmanship in him. I think he's just loose. He's trying to make sure he plays his game. I mean, let's remember, there's a lot of pressure on this because you lose this game, you are this close to winning some money. You're going home with nothing for 3 days' work.
Or is that audible privacy? The same thing.
No, I'm serious. I think you're right. I think you hit it. I think you hit it right.
He's showing him the ultimate level of respect as he sets their audibles. They're not on the land. They're playing
even though they got their own monitor, it is like it's a land game, so he would be able to see exactly what Mr. Mrhitstick is setting up. So that's a very good observation, Rico. I think you hit the nail right on the head right there. He's just showing respect. And Chritobin's a respectful guy. He wouldn't give us the cold shoulder like
Even
that.
the stop clock is right twice a day.
It was interesting. I was on Twitter after the games yesterday, and I think I want to say it was D. Croft on Twitter. It might have been D. Croft or J. Wall. He was talking about how tough it is not being able to pull up that play art and see your routes. That was a challenge of the couch play, which is something that I didn't realize how big a deal that was in the couch play here at DreamHack.
Oh, it's a huge deal. Think about how many times you're playing at home and online and you pull up that play art, especially after you make a specific
there you
adjustment.
go. Give him a thumbs up.
That's not something you're able to do here. I mean, you pull up your play art, your opponent's going to be able to see that play art. Sure, you could use the bluff play mechanic, but guys are smart enough to figure out what's the real player art and what's not. So, yeah, that is a huge difference in playing in this style.
He's going to run a halfback counter, really. No, I don't think anybody thinks it's a halfback counter coming out.
All right, Mr. Mrhitstick, Chritobin, our Madden Challenge champion. One of these guys will be moving on and making $2,500 to face Clef in our Final Four. I'm ready. You guys ready? I know they're ready out there in the chat. Let's go ahead and get to this game.
Don't pause it on us. Rico just gave such a great speech, and they paused it on us.
Did I just give them the big game speech?
You gave them the big game speech.
But
I'll be honest, I have no idea what a big game speech anymore. I don't even know what a big game is anymore. I'm so confused.
Basically, what I got from Rico's explanation is you'll hear the big game speech. You'll know the big game speech when you hear it.
If it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's a big game speech. That's all I figured out.
I'm trying to think if I've ever given Rico the big game speech. I don't think I've had.
No. But I'm pretty sure Lab has gotten it before.
There was one time I did, but we couldn't get any action.
So we were saved.
I was looking tough. Big game speech.
Exactly.
If you were looking for some different teams here at DreamHack Madden, I got some news. It's the Falcons and the Chiefs once again.
It is clear what the meta is in regs right now. And
where are the Bengals?
Falcons, Chiefs.
Where are the Dolphins?
D. Croft was out there with the Bengals, and he got popped by the Ravens, who Wayne Walton was using. But I don't think we've seen many other teams. I saw my local guy out here. He was playing with the Cowboys.
Saw the Chargers.
Matzler had the Chargers. He looked tough with the Chargers. But, yeah, it's really been Falcons, Chiefs. Who you guys got in the chat? If you were here at DreamHack, let me know in the chat. What team would you have been rocking with in this tournament? Chiefs, Falcons, or if you got another team that we probably sleeping on, who would it have been? Let us know. If you were here at DreamHack, who would you have brought out on the virtual gridiron?
Look at NorCal Navy Mike throwing up the goos in the chat. A little Mud Guru love. PFFG, positive force for good. Shout out to Guru.
Let's
sure
go.
He's tuning in today.
The legend, the goo. He's also someone, outside of the Madden community, just consider Goo a good friend, man. He's just a good dude. Anyone that's been around him knows that that's a genuine person and, a guy you just can't help but love him.
Second down and 8, Mr. Mrhitstick representing the Atlanta Falcons, stepping up, looking right side. I think you just got to start calling him Leo because he doesn't need the who at the beginning of his name. We know exactly who he is. That was my Rico for the day. There you go.
I like all these answers in the chats. A lot of Patriots. A lot of guys would have got my Pats out here. Get Tommy Ballgame slanging. Shotmaster says he would have maybe went with the Texans. Shotmaster, another Madden legend.
Look, I will say, I don't know how much you guys have played. I mean, again, I'm in the CFM, so I played a lot. How much have you guys have played in Indianapolis Stadium? If you catch it at the wrong time of day, that light coming through the windows is as bad as it gets.
Why do you think on the MCS ladders we made every game a night game? You shouldn't even have to deal with it. It's inhumane. But it's something players deal with in real life, and so.
You play a 1 o'clock in the afternoon game against the Colts. You better be running the ball. 2nd and 9, pressure off the edge. Chritobin, defense early. Is that Matt Schaub?
Well, how about?
That is Matt Schaub. That was Matt Schaub throwing the ball.
I don't know what was going on right there. A little gun empty saint from Mr. Mrhitstick, and I like it. Now he goes to the tight. We're seeing something a little bit different from him. I don't know why he subbed Matt Schaub in.
The Schauber, he had a great season with the Texans that one year.
I mean, that was Vic's backup. Schwab's a Madden legend just because, but he's a guy that everybody hated because anytime you were using him, it meant your Vikings went down because we used to play with injuries back in the day.
Moving a corner out.
Dropped it.
Nobody hung. Matt Schaub, but
dude, I
Virginia
hated Matt
Cavalier?
Schaub.
I want to say he went to UVA.
If he came in the game, you knew it was just tragic. It just meant the Vikings was down. Vikings went down when you were using the Falcons, man. That's no fun. We got a big 4th down, though.
Mr. Mrhitstick. Get a huge conversion early in this game. 3:33 to go in the first quarter.
Julio in the slot, in case Rico was wondering.
Tevin Coleman now moving slightly tighter to the formation. Ryan rolls right. Pressure. Down goes Ryan. We talked about the Mrhitstick defense, but Chritobin, your Madden Challenge champion, he has the defense playing well early.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is going to be dangerous for the other competitors. If Chritobin can start to find his rhythm, start to get hot within this tournament, I mean, he is fully built to make a run all the way through this thing and go home with that championship. Mr. Mrhitstick's going to have to respond quickly.
BN Dallas in the chat said, played someone in Colt Stadium with the neon green Seahawks jerseys. That's like playing against ghosts. You can't see anybody in the secondary. As a run on 1st down. Shout out to Rico Williams. Double fisting plates.
Double fisting plates. Do you have ribs? What is that? Is that brisket?
Oh my, we got barbecue.
Did you come over?
Came over and brought corn.
I'm not going to go on a brisket rant in a Final 8 game. This is a big game.
But seriously, brisket is great. But seriously,
I mean,
can't go wrong.
I wish the chat could see what the heck is going on here at this desk.
Nice pass by Mahomes, picking up a 1st down. Oh no, though, here's my fear. We had some great barbecue on Friday night. I'm afraid to have any other barbecue because it was so good. 1st down at 10.
That Pecan Lodge. Big
shout out to Pecan Lodge in downtown Dallas.
To my boy Vic, who flew in the glitch on that one. That was glitchy.
1st down and 10 for Chritobin at the 24-yard line. Running out of that gun bunch. Watkins alone on the left side. Have a little draw play for Williams. How much of a comparison is there between Williams on the Chiefs and Freeman on the Falcons? That's a big disadvantage if you're trying to run the ball.
I mean, I'd take Freeman or Coleman.
Yeah.
Over Williams, to be honest. When you're playing with these Chiefs, it's all about that Patty Mahomes, that Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins. Those are the guys that are really going to do it for you. Then here's Mr. Mrhitstick.
Tack McKinley with the sack.
He's been known to play some defense.
Now a 3rd and long. I think Rico said it in our first game. I know you never want to turn over on downs, but against this Chiefs team with the speed over the top, giving them a short field actually may work to your advantage a little bit because you don't have to worry about playing against that deep ball. 3rd and 7. Mahomes, he's got a lot of room. He's going to take off.
Gotta get down.
A dive out of bounds.
Lucky he dove out of bounds. Sometimes you'll see where they'll dive into that defender, and next thing you know, that ball's on the ground.
My guy Vilma, he said, I'll take Boogs over Williams. And Boogs good.
Boogs got some breakaway speed. He's a finesser though. We went out to play football at the Madden Bowl. He started talking about his ACL, how he couldn't run, how he couldn't plant, and then he went and burned us.
He did have one of the nicer field goal right there for Chritobin. Takes the lead. Boogs did have a nice one-hand grab interception, very Odell-ish, but it was out of bounds. Play didn't count, but I remember that one.
Great J Gaming saying he'll take Sony Michel over Williams. So will I.
So will I.
Sony Michel.
Sony Michel's
tough.
Did you see that guy during the season? The question is, do you draft the Patriots running back in fantasy next year? I mean,
yes.
James White.
Take James White.
It's tough, dude.
James White lost a little value end of the year with Michel.
Burkhead's healthy too. And Burkhead's
the running back by committee thing is, but White get in a PPR league, yes. In a regular league, no.
I had James White in my PPR league, and he held me down.
He was a top 3 point getter in the first 10 weeks, then he got dinged up.
One thing I will say about Mr. Mrhitstick is I do like that he's running a little bit of a different offense. We see him coming out in this single back. We've seen him come out in some 5 wide, some gun tight. So he's mixing up his formations. Doing some different things other than that bunch and that trips tight end. Look at this, a little gun Y-off trio, the Dreeny special.
RG, one of the people you're familiar with, the official Mole in the chat.
My guy Moley.
Holy guacamole.
For all those that don't know, you can check out Mole at EA Play. They're going to have a station set up. You can try to play him on Madden 20, win you a little bit of swag. Mole, obviously, an essential part of our QA team there in Tiburon. And I'll tell you what, man, he is tough on the sticks in Madden 20 right now. Around the office, Moley's been strutting around because he's been putting hands on us.
I got to hang out with Mole down in Orlando. He's a great guy to go out and grab a beer with. Can't wait to see him at EA Play. It's going to be a lot of fun next week. Toss play on first and 10.
Get your Stevie J on.
Woo! Little spin cycle to pick up 7.
Last stop. Last stop.
It's again a $2,500 game of Madden. Winners guaranteed at least that, but they're looking all at that $12,500 prize for first place and that plate, which I have yet to see. I asked to see it before, and we haven't even seen it yet. They're still getting it shined up and ready to go.
Yeah, they said they were working on cleaning it up and making sure it was the most amazing plate you have ever seen. But obviously, they've never seen RG on Thanksgiving.
Dog. You ever seen that meme when they say me on Thanksgiving and it's the Bill Goldberg entrance?
Yeah.
That's me at my grandmother's house.
NBL's own Porter in the chat.
Hey, let's go.
2nd and 3. How about Freeman one more time? Not going to get the first down. 3rd and short. Mrhitstick trying to establish that run game.
How about Mrhitstick just bouncing around from formation to formation? We see him back in the tight slots. Then he gets back in this single back wing. He's all over the place right now. And it's got to be a little frustrating for Chritobin. Whoa, just missed the tackle.
You missed one tackle. You talk about a game of inches, and it's one missed tackle, and you end up picking 10 yards.
The only thing I know I'm the king of don't let Julio beat you. It seems like Mr. Mrhitstick is working really hard to get down the field. I'm just curious if his execution is going to allow him to score at the end of this, as opposed to everything he's doing and turning the ball over.
Well, here's the thing, Rico. If he can get points here, he's clearly a player that's,
That was a little sticky.
Nice spin, but what I was saying is, I think he would categorize himself as a defensive player, and what these drives are doing is he's really slowing this game down. We're already out of the first quarter. The clock's ticking here in the second. And, this offense slowly but surely moving down the field, but also slowly but surely moving that clock down. Going to help him limit some of those Chritobin possessions.
2nd and 3, toss play once again. He's got some room with Freeman.
Good
Breaks one
calling.
tackle, blocked down the field, and he's going to get to the 21-yard line. I was just going to mention that, RG. A big part of why Mrhitstick is here in the top 8. He has won the TOP battle. He has grinded that clock down and shortened the game, and because of that, you've seen those 6-0 games. He's executed well.
Yes.
Question is, if he makes some mistakes like he did on that first drive, he got stopped. If he's able to get that back with how short the game becomes with Mrhitsticks on the sticks.
You're right. It's definitely a risky style of play, but like you alluded to, he's had success with it already in those tournaments, getting 6-0 type wins, which is pretty absurd. We've seen a lot of high-scoring affairs here in this tournament, so this is definitely his style of play. Slow the game down, keep your opponent off balance. I mean, look at him now. He's in the gun bunch. He is all over the place in these formations, and this is a style of Madden that I can get behind. I love watching guys who can mix it up like this. This is a lot of fun.
Out of the pocket, he's going to throw it away. Warhawk in the chat. Are y'all a fan of chicken and waffles? Do you know who you're talking to?
Actually,
Roscoe's.
Here's what I'll be honest with you. I actually, similar to the Rico Williams lemonade with a splash of pineapple that I started, I tried to get a French toast and waffle movement going.
That's good.
The grassroots didn't really click on.
Didn't pick up?
It didn't pick up the way I thought it was.
French toast would be pretty good.
It is good. I've had it a couple places.
My guy Reality, he put me on to the Roscoe's.
Yep. Always make sure we get there every time we're in LA.
Every time, and it's the phenomenal order. You get the Obama, you add a breast, and then you get a side of collard greens and mac on the side with one of those special fruit punches. Banging as Mr. Mrhitstick ties this ball game.
If you're out in LA for EA play, gotta hit up Roscoe's.
I love me some Roscoe's. Man, that Obama had the breast.
Clef's in the
Ace
chat.
Boogie. What about my main man, Nick? We can't eat without Nick.
Oh, yeah,
Cool, Ace
Roscoe's.
Boogie, whatever, man. It's like high school all over again. I'm getting left out. It's fine. 3-3 your score in the first half. Top 8. This is our second game of the top 8. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here at DreamHack and in the Twitch chat. Nick Mazesco, RG, Rico Williams.
And Clef the God happened to just enter the chat as well. Now, would you be in the chat or would you be scouting since you have the winner?
I'd be in the chat. I'm trying to stay loose. Deep pass down the field. Chritobin. Tyreek Hill.
Do you use the chat to see what the Kivs, what the W's, what everybody is saying about this game?
Well, if you're in the chat, too, you can watch the game.
It's tough to type and...
I mean, again, most of these guys, I'm sure if you're sitting out there, you're watching the game and just chatting along. We've hit the 2-minute warning in the first half.
This is a big drive here, guys. This is a defining drive. This is Chritobin and his high-powered offense. Mr. Mrhitstick needs to get his defense going. If he can get himself a stop here, continue to minimize Chritobin's possessions, because if you're Chritobin, one thing you got to realize is you are going to have likely a limited amount of possessions. So you got to take advantage of each and every one. And Chritobin, chewing clock himself, going to try to limit Mr. Mrhitstick from getting this ball back in the second half.
Oh, quick pass underneath. He'll pick up a first down. That's Sammy Watkins to the 25-yard line.
Looking robotic right there. That just hike throw. I can't tell if that was a slant or a short in. But I'm always so scared to throw those. I feel like I'm going to get lurked anytime I make a read like that.
Or if you catch it, you get absolutely obliterated over the middle of the field.
Tobin just getting it done like clockwork.
Down under a minute to go. This is the second possession for Chritobin. He will get the ball to start the second half. 3-3. Waiting. He's got all time. He can just set up a chair, get a glass of lemonade with a splash of pineapple. Throws over right side.
Laser.
Down to the 13-yard line.
Oh, man.
But let's remember that first game, it was a 6-6 ball game at the half. It ended up 34-13.
Calling Chritobin the robot in the chat. And yeah, this is a robotic offense right now. He's just getting it done. But can he finish here? Capitalize with the touchdown, or is he going to have to settle for 3 again?
Ace Boogie saying no pressure kills you. 1st and 10. Mahomes stepping up. He's got some room. 10. 5.
He got cracked!
Oh, Mr. Mrhitstick gets the turnover he needs with a fumble from Patty Mahomes.
His mama call him Mr. Mrhitstick. I'ma call him Mr. Mrhitstick. What did I tell you about that quarterback dive? They were lucky in another game when he dove out of bounds, because a lot of times when you dive with that quarterback, you wind up getting hit by a defender and that ball's on the carpet.
Oh, man, he tries to do his Willie Beeman impression at the end of the game. Mahomes, life on the line, dives, goes for the glory, gets popped, and one thing you can't do if you're Chritobin is leave points on the floor against the super stingy Mr. Mrhitstick defense. What a first half.
And we head to halftime. 6 points scored. It's a 3-3. Grind them out sort of ball game. Chritobin gonna get the ball, but Mr. Mrhitstick with a little momentum.
Oh, man, what an exciting way to end that first half. And here comes Chritobin. That was a huge Huge play for Mr. Mrhitstick. He would have been in a situation where he could have been down 7, down 3. Chritobin having the ball, looking to make it 2 possessions. Now he finds himself in a tie ball game with a chance to lock up and get the ball back with a chance for the lead.
RG, you are absolutely correct. If you would have told Mr. Mrhitstick going into this game, it'll be 3-3 at the half, you're on defense to start it out, he'd say, I'll take it.
And you know that your game plan, which has been the game plan you've had all tournament long, is a nice sack there from Mr. Mrhitstick. Your game plan is working. You shortened the game. You've limited the scoring. It's playing into Mr. Mrhitstick's hands.
I just realized you have chicken, too. You got brisket and chicken, Nick.
Well,
It's all about the cornbread.
He tries to hand me a muffin.
you're wide open underneath. It's Chris Conley. He'll pick up a first down.
That's a big first down right there. And that's not what you're trying to do if you miss the Mrhitstick. You get Chritobin and his prolific offense to a 2nd and 17, looking like you're going to be able to get a stop, and then you just let a drag route go for that big first down. That's frustrating, Nick.
Chritobin in that gun bunch to the right side. Watkins alone on the left side. Mahomes dropping back to pass on 1st and 10. Pressure picked up nicely. He's going to take a shot deep. It's going to be out of bounds, though, looking for Tyreek Hill over the top. Look at him celebrating like they did something on defense.
They did. They had 2 people there, which made him throw that pass. The only place where he could throw it, which was outside.
2nd and 10.
Some good action we got here in the Elite 8. $25,000 Dallas DreamHack tournament. DreamHack's 25th anniversary.
Couldn't stay in bounds there, so only going to pick up 7. 3rd and 3, an opportunity. We haven't really seen Mrhitstick get too much pressure with that athletic front 7. A couple of sacks for Tag McKinley, but he could use one here on 3rd down. Good user coverage. He comes off of Chris Conley to cover the hitch route, and Chritobin says, I'll take that, thank you very much. First down for the Madden Challenge champ.
He's continuing to make plays when he needs them. Again, this just showing how big that turnover before the half was for Mr. Mrhitstick. Would have been a lot more pressure on him if Chritobin was moving the ball like this, already up 7.
John Beast in the chat saying, bro, why are you moving his CBs and safeties back? I don't know why, Rico. Why would you do that against the Kansas City Chiefs?
I don't know, because you don't want Tyreek Hill to take the top off your defense.
And
just maybe.
And some people don't know, when you're playing competitive Madden, a casual player, he's just going to come out in the defense. Oh, right up the seam, big hit. But a casual player, when they play, they just come out into the defense. They let it align the way it does by default. But when you play Madden at the highest level, what you're going to notice is these competitors are going to click around and move to the defenders in spots that they feel more comfortable with than the default alignment. That's a big part of competitive Madden, is grabbing players and moving them around pre-play to be in positions of your liking.
One of the best trash talkers in Madden, Joel CP in the chat.
My guy, Joel.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see him in the chat. Hoping he makes a return in Madden 20.
Please.
Miss seeing him on the sticks. One of the most entertaining, charismatic talents we've had on the circuit. It's a real treat to watch anytime he gets out there to perform.
And this drive from Chritobin. I wouldn't say this is the most rhythmic game we've seen, but a lot of that's because Mrhitstick's clogging everything up and making it a grinded-out sort of game.
Styles make fights, and Mr. Mrhitstick is muddying this one up. He's dictating the pace. He's making Chritobin play his game.
2nd and 5, Mahomes. To the left side.
It's good read by Chritobin.
Chritobin doing something that he wasn't doing well yesterday. He's not forcing the ball into tight windows. He's taking what the defense is giving him.
And you can tell when he's in that pocket, he's a guy that's going through his progressions, looks for the drag, looked at the post. Okay, none of that's there. The left corner is sinking back. My flat's got to be open, dumps down to it. Really strong progression right there from Chritobin.
1st and goal now. It's a fumble.
Wow.
Oh, hitch. Miss on the hit, and Chris Conley says, thank you very much, I'll get myself 6.
You got to think Chritobin feels great right now. That touchdown allows him to breathe, woosah. Now, you're going to make Mr. Mrhitstick, the defensive specialist, have to score a touchdown, and that is huge.
And we asked what would happen if Chritobin's able to get a lead. We're late in the game. It's going to be up to a Mrhitstick offense that, frankly, is not his strength, and it hasn't looked particularly dangerous today.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, he's definitely been able to move the balls. He's done it with a variety of formations. The problem when you have this style of offense is it doesn't look like you have that one-play touchdown potential. You move it prolifically, but we all know once you get into the red zone, it gets super stingy down there. As you can see, Mrhitstick only held to 3 points this game already. So does he have that touchdown scoring drive in him?
That spin killed him. That spin killed him because he could have had a first down and maybe more. Instead, he spins into a tackle, 2nd and 10. And put your 4s up in the chat. It's a one-score ball game. Your Madden Challenge champ Chritobin with a 7-point lead. Mrhitstick with the ball, and RG, Mrhitstick looks like he's not going away from his game plan. He's going to continue to pound the rock.
Yeah, and he's going to continue to mix up these formations. Here he's going to go, it's a little 5-out spread. No, empty.
No Matt Schaub. It's Matt Ryan on the field.
Hey, gun.
Turn to the mat.
39.
4 wide set, empty backfield. The tight end Hooper on the right side of the line.
Hey, Tuesday. Let's go.
Dropping back to pass. Rush picked up nicely. He's looking right side. Ooh. Boy, and for a guy who has been much more of a runner, he looked real comfortable making that read with Calvin Ridley coming all the way across.
It's a good play, and you got to wonder how much of that is him just keeping Chritobin off guard, mixing these formations, keeping him off balance, mixing in run, mixing in pass. It's definitely a fun offense to watch.
11. Gun.
Oh, Larry.
He scored some touchdowns. The legend.
He's in the chat. Says, if I'm Chritobin, I'm mad I didn't slide before halftime. Absolutely, that's a big swing. But by the way, if you guys want to see something fun, go check out the comeback Larry's Cavs team had in 2K League. Now 14 with 2.5 to go.
I need to see that. I saw the clip of the steal that he made and then the pass on the fast break.
Check it out.
That's got to be ampage. I'm looking forward to getting out to one of those things and seeing my guy play live.
I watched the backs.
We will make that trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scott Cole and Dirk were going crazy on that steal.
They do a phenomenal job.
Now 3rd and 7 for Mr. Mrhitstick. 4:12 to go. And once again, going to that empty Y. This is an empty Y set. He's just going a bunch of empty sets here. He's going to take off with Matt Ryan, and he's going to slide down.
Get down.
It looked like Chritobin had Chris Jones in a spy, which, first of all, I don't know if that's the guy you want in the spy. He's one of your best shedders within the pass rush, and he doesn't really have the speed to pursue the quarterback well from a standstill position like a defender is in a quarterback spy.
If you're Chritobin, are you thinking to stop here and the game's over?
Yes. That's what you have to think. Toss play.
He's
good
got
block
room.
on the edge.
He's got room.
Good block on the edge. Broken tackle inside the 10. Mr. Mrhitstick says, Rico, don't be talking about end of the game. I got other plans. 3:26 to go.
Now, 1st and goal from the 8. If you're Mr. Mrhitstick, this has to be 4-down territory, correct? You can't take
There's no
3 here.
anymore. No. You got to get 7 on the board.
Guy Larry says, we got a tourney in Orlando in 2 weeks. I will be there, brother, and I can't wait.
1st and goal, I formation. Coleman at the top of the I. Freeman in the fullback position. It's going to be a toss to Tevin Coleman. Cuts back inside, breaking tackles, picking up 4.
Rumble, young man, rumble.
It's going to be tough for Mr. Mrhitstick. This is what I'm worried about with that offense. It's prolific, but what does he have when he gets down here?
And knowing that his offense is so slow, the clock is not his friend right now as well. He can't take 3, and because he's taking so much time, he's backing himself into a corner if he doesn't get in here.
We saw Matster in this formation earlier in the tournament. He would love that corner route, that slot receiver, but he's
going to hand it off. He's going to walk in the end zone, an extra point away from tying this ball game up. Mr. Mrhitstick and Devontae Freeman, a match made in heaven.
What a good run right there. Motions over one of the tight ends, puts the numbers advantage into his favor, runs the stretch.
How many people watching this game right now are inspired by Mr. Mrhitstick? They're sitting there watching like, oh my God, you can run the ball, you can do this, and you can compete with the best that there is. Mr. Mrhitstick putting on a grade A performance here.
Now, one thing I've learned about a lot of the human race, Rico, is they're lazy. We're lazy. So a lot of people are just going to go and jump into what they see and run it and copycat it, but that doesn't mean you can't go out there, find your own stuff, mix in a little of that, mix in, find something here, take something from someone else there. That's what we're seeing from Mr. Mrhitstick, and I'll tell you what, it makes for some entertaining Madden football, but his defense is what's going to need to step up for him right here.
I have not had a chance to really see Mr. Mrhitstick manage the clock. How, when you're on defense, do you start thinking, because you always want to think, especially as a defensive specialist, that you can get a stop, but you have to think, what if I don't get that stop? How do you work that balance out, RG?
It's tough. You got to do the math in your head. You know that right now he's going to have to start calling timeouts because 40 seconds, you only got 3 plays, 40 minutes, 22 minutes. So after this, he's going to have to start calling timeouts pretty soon. He can maybe let this 40 seconds wind down right here, but after that, no more room for error. You got to start calling timeouts because Chritobin is going to be able to milk this whole clock away.
And how aggressive are you if you're Chritobin? You've worked down the field in 2 plays now. Do you now go to the run game, which he does with Williams, trying to get outside? He's going to be tackled. And
the other thing that makes this awkward, Rico, is you're definitely going to want to save one of those timeouts to potentially ice Chritobin if he needs to kick this game-winning field goal.
Not a lot of time left. Buck 11 to go in the game.
Chritobin showed us he don't care about ice.
That's funny. That's a good one, man.
Oh, he's looking to pass here on 2nd down and 5.
Oh!
What's underneath? Has Hill.
His offensive coordinator needs to be fired.
Good stick work by Mrhitstick, too. He clicked on that defender lightning quick, try to make a pick, instead makes the tackle. Huge 3rd and 2 right now. This is most likely the game. If you miss the Mrhitstick, you need to stand up for yourself. If you're Chritobin, you can pick up this 1st down, set yourself up for a game-winning field goal. This play might determine the ball game.
Could be a $2,500 play. Mahomes left side has a man. It's Sammy Watkins with the 1st down, and it's all going to come down now to a kick for Chritobin. That could have been a $2,500 conversion.
Wow, what a play for Chritobin. Like you said, Nick, potential $2,500 1st down for Chritobin. All he's going to have to do is kick this field goal. Mr. Mrhitstick going to look to ice him. Now, I don't believe you can avoid the ice anymore. In most cases, I did see it. We saw it happen one time during the Madden poll.
The GOAT problem right in the chat problem. You tuned in at the right time. 2nd down and 11. It looks like
Tobin's going to nail this ball. Let the clock wind down. He's going to call a timeout with no time left. He's going to have to kick this game-winning field goal.
Does Mr. Mrhitstick have a block in him? We've seen crazier things.
We've definitely seen crazier things.
No ice. 3rd and 12. 4 seconds left. A $2,500 kick for Chritobin. Your Madden Challenge champ. This is where 5 seconds feels like an hour.
So Mrhitstick's gonna have to try to time that block, fly off of that edge.
No block, kick is up. 2,500 in Chritobin's pocket. Your Madden Challenge champ stays alive. But what a performance by Mr. Mrhitstick in the final 8. And now we get the matchup that a lot of people were looking forward to. Clef the God and Chritobin in the Final 4.
Yeah, that was a great game. You got to give it to Mr. Mrhitstick. Tip your hat to him. He played phenomenal. He left it all on the field.
He's a guy you're going to see competing next year. I mean, if this is lit, we were saying yesterday this tournament has lit the fire under a lot of these players. Mr. Mrhitstick's got to have a ton of confidence going into Madden 20 with his performance here at DreamHack.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, he's a guy that he's just right on the cusp of breaking through, and this kind of defines where he's been. He's been able to make some noise. He's been relevant in those Colts Club championships. He just can't quite get over that hump of making the serious run that he needs to make. But I'm with Nick. I'm sure it's only a matter of time. He's an an awesome guy when you talk to him. Hats off to him. We're lucky to have him in the community. Today is just Chritobin's day.
All right, well, we are halfway through our final 8. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket, see where we're at, and what the rest of our day looks like. In our first matchup, Clef the God took out Echo Fox Joke to move on. We just witnessed Chritobin take out Mr. Hitstick. Next up, we have Nando and Turnaround. I'm going to need Turnaround to turn around because I don't know what he looks like.
Yeah, I've never seen him, but word on the street is Turnaround is tough. He's been playing elite level competition in online games, and he's beat some of the tough players. I don't want to put the names out there, but it's some of the cream of the crop type players. Nando's been hot in this tournament. That is going to be a phenomenal matchup. When the chat saw that on the bracket yesterday, they were going bananas. I'm excited for it.
All right, then we're going to end the day with Chritobin and JS the Best, another great one. We've been having a great day here at DreamHack 2019 in Dallas, Texas. We got a lot more great Madden on the way. Stick with us after these commercials.